No, I got to lean in.
What is going on, everybody? It is me again, and it is time to lean in, bitch. What's going on, Jamie and Danny? What's going on, Danny? How you doing, Danny?
Good
It is
evening.
Day, and I feel like it's been forever since I see y'all.
Hasn't been long
How
enough.
long?
Well, you know what?
Girl,
Me
I
and
thought you
Danny
were sick. I was really looking forward to you being down and out tonight.
Who?
That was Sammy who said that. I had a cold Monday. I feel better now.
It's too bad. Unfortunate. Hate that for me.
I don't want people
Hate that
thinking
for
I'm
me.
no shirt on. I got a low tank off, so I wear it back.
Well, I'm happy
It's
to
a
see
low
you,
blouse.
It's
A princess cut.
It's
A
a tank
princess cut.
off, child, you know.
You're not happy to see me. You don't love me. You're not happy to see. You're never. You have never been happy to see me.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
With that being said, we're here to talk about the Real Housewives of New Jersey, episode 10. We're getting on through the season. The season actually, well, they're filming the reunion next week. So if you've been on
like 3 or
social
4,
media,
right?
huh?
We got like 3 or 4 then after this.
Yeah, we're at the end. I mean, I'm surprised they even taking this trip to Ireland because last year they was in Nashville. So big upgrade. But yeah, before we get started, go ahead and hit the like button. Like this video, as I always say, really appreciate it. It is free $99 to like the video and keep us in the algorithm. And subscribe. There are many people that watch us, but they don't subscribe. I don't understand that. I mean, it doesn't make sense. So make an account. If you got no account, subscribe to the channel and keep us afloat. And it's free, like I said. So let's get into it. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I always forget about what happens in the previous episodes, but I do remember last week that Rachel and Danielle had their little back and forth. I remember that because that's the only thing that really came from the episode. We had the psychic last week, so a lot of that carries over into this episode. The ladies are going to Ireland, but at the beginning of this episode, we get a glimpse of Danielle's bougie kids clothing line. And one thing I will say about this is that I've seen people in our commentary. First of all, shout out to people in the chat right now. I see Art World is here. If you're watching, let us know where you're watching from.
On, Marty.
Lovely Wednesday. Our World is always here. So Our World, eventually you're gonna have to call in. Okay, you cannot just. I mean,
it's gonna be today,
but you cannot just sit in the chat and not call in and give us your verbal commentary. Okay, so think about that. But yes, so one thing I will say about this is that I've seen people say over the last few weeks in this whole season that they feel like Danielle has chosen a side. And I think this scene to me kind of shows that I don't think she really has, because I mean, she's still hanging with Melissa, who is the one person that Teresa is like not really caring for right now, regardless if she's admits it or not. The one person that, Jen and Melissa are playing nice. But I mean, Melissa is Marge's close friend. I don't know if it's because she feels I don't know if it's going to last long, but I will say in this scene, I truly felt like it was more evident that she is not really choosing a side. She just aligns more with Jen and Teresa, which, hell, I probably would too, given what's on the other side. I mean, Jackie over there. Who want to be friends with her?
It's so rude.
I'm just saying. But yeah, so this pop up. When Jen shows up, I love how Jen pranced her little ass up in the. I don't know if y'all saw.
She looks so cute.
She did. She walked in with her little walk, child. I'm like, okay, Jen, giving us.
She was stoned.
But she Melissa, and she's being very petty, by the way. Jen is being very petty all episode, because she's like, Melissa, basically like, are you okay about us being a bridesmaid? I mean, because, you can always say, it's bothering you, or say it's okay, you want to be part of the wedding. I mean, just tell her. And I'm just like, Jen, damn well you're playing in this girl's face. She is clearly upset. She does not like the fact that you and Dolores, specifically you, are in this wedding when she feels entitled to be in the wedding. And she tells her, you can always change your mind. I'm like, you better be petty, Jen. You better play with Melissa, and it seems to be working, because I don't know if Melissa thinks she's sincere, but in this scene it does seem like Melissa's like, oh no, it's okay, I'm okay, thank you for checking, but she's pissed off as hell. Yes, Art World, she was cute in that little jean skirt. That's what I was talking about.
She has some shape to her. I was like, where did this ass come from?
Yeah.
It was giving Jessica Dime and Love Hip Hop walking in the same.
Very.
But you know what? Melissa would have been able to tolerate it a little better had it just been Dolores.
I think so. And she showed herself later in the episode exactly how she felt. I was like, I think Melissa really going
to my
after
Phaedra face on that one. We won't go there, but
I wouldn't say that. Melissa's made some better choices in the plastic surgery department. But I wouldn't say she's looked better.
They both got ugly noses. Let's be clear.
I think Melissa choosing to keep Danielle. Melissa choosing to keep Danielle close. I'm trying to gauge if it's altruistic from Melissa's side, or if she's just like, I need to make friends with somebody who's good in Teresa's ear. Because at this point, I have nobody advocating for me, and my time is up on this show. So, like, I can't trust Jen to really have my back with Teresa. So let me try to get in good with Danielle to see if she'll, put in a good word for me with Teresa. But Danielle don't give a shit. Danielle is not getting involved in that in any way, shape, or form. And that's probably smart on her behalf.
April said, look, Danielle is a lapdog. Okay.
Right.
Marge,
is that you?
Wow. I mean, there are a lot of I would say I would take Danielle being more of a lapdog in her first season, considering some of these women have been there for like 5-6 years and they're like still lapdogging. That's just my thing. Jackie. But I mean, right, Jackie. I mean, they all lapdog.
Okay, Jackie.
But I understand.
I feel like Rachel's being one too.
Well, we said that. I think Jamie doesn't have to believe that.
I don't necessarily think either of them are being lapdogs. I think Jersey is one of those casts that you obviously have personalities that are at opposite ends of the spectrum as far as friendship goes, and they're very overpowering energies. So anybody who's just kind of like, well, I'm friends with her, kind of gets lumped in as a lapdog. I really haven't seen that Danielle's done anything really lapdoggy. She hasn't gone and done any of Teresa's dirty work. If she has, she would not be kicking it with Melissa. She really hasn't fucked or started any negativity with Marge until this situation with Rachel Fuda. So I don't necessarily see Danielle as doing anything other than running. She hasn't stuck around long enough.
This is Marge. April is Marge. April says Melissa will always look better than Jen. She says, and she's slimmer and has a husband who loves her actually. We can't fat shame. We can't, April.
Marge, call in and show yourself.
She says Danielle was already judging Marge based off Teresa work. I don't think she was judging. I feel like she just kind of was taking it into consideration that, I think that's fair. But I mean, like I said, hey.
I mean, and that's I would say Marge wasn't doing anything.
Damn, April. I wish I had a pool house to stay in.
Okay.
I guess for me, it's no different than Jackie walking up and already judging Danielle the minute she saw her.
They all judge. I mean, they all judge. Jackie was literally judging Danielle, though. That was a real judgment. Like, it was apparent, but I get it.
I mean, if anybody's a lapdog, it's Jennifer Aiden, because like that lady, she had to get called off tonight. Teresa was like, "Girl, I can calm down. I can do my own. I can fight for myself."
All right, so in this same scene, Melissa asks Danielle about Rachel. Danielle feels like she felt last week that she was thrown under the bus, and she feels like, anybody, when they're confronted about their feelings being hurt, if they come down the way Rachel did, like, I don't give a damn, or I said what I said. Basically, she feels like that's trash, and she don't want to be friends, things like that. And she calls her a rat. And if you watch Mob Wives back in the day, you know
that's very pointed.
That a rat is a very pointed thing. It is something that you people in Jersey do not like to be called. So I was just like, I don't know how this is gonna go over later, but child, if they are true Jersey girls, then it's gonna be a whole conversation. Because all I'm thinking about is Mob Wives when they was just like rat.
I'm a rat. You're a rat. I would never call nobody a rat. Get up, Drita.
Because Renee,
that was her trigger word. Rat.
Melissa was like, a rat. I'm like,
I loved it. Side note, I really, really wish that we were doing the lean when Mob Wives was on every week.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. You know what? To be honest, I'm not gonna lie to you. I wish we were around when a lot of these shows back then were on, like early seasons of Love and Hip Hop, early seasons of Real Housewives of Atlanta. All this, everything earlier was just better, I will say. But unfortunately, I didn't know anybody. But maybe Danny. Yeah. No, fortunately, actually. Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Wow.
It was just
Wow.
No, I knew Antonio, I knew Jazz, I knew some people. We've been knowing each other for a while, so it's all full circle. But we're here now. And April says that she's just playing. She loves it. It's okay. April, listen, your opinion, I love it. I say go in, child. If you really are Marge, then please hit me up. Come on live.
Who is the viewer that is Team Melissa? Who is that one viewer that called in and is super Team Melissa? This is his burner account.
Ronnie.
Yeah. So now we got 2 Team Melissas in the chat. So look at us, diversity. We love it.
I will say I do agree. Rachel does stand her ground. She definitely stands her ground. If nothing
she definitely rides Marge's coattails. So.
Oh.
Yes, those were the days. I agree. Those were some good like TV days. But listen. Okay, so yeah, after the whole rat thing, Melissa talks about that, and I think somebody said in the comment that Danielle's become very comfortable with talking to Melissa. We know that Melissa's gonna go back, but we haven't seen her go back and tell her anything. I mean, maybe they cut those scenes. I don't know. But I guess my question to y'all is, how long do y'all think that Melissa and Danielle will go at the reunion, or do you think they're about to fall out?
Miss Melissa and Danielle?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to gauge with Melissa. Like I really am uninterested in her in any way, shape, or form. Like Danielle can take her.
I think they will, because I think it's going to come out when Danielle is the one who reveals the information to her. It's not really looking out for her. It's to get at Marge. So it's like you're hurting me to take Marge down. So I think there might be some words there at the reunion.
Okay. All right, so then after that, we get some scenes, kind of like brush past these, but Dolores with Paul. Paul is not in the hospital this week, thank God. She's prepping for the trip. She is the planner for the trip, so she's getting everything together. We had Teresa talking to Louis about, I think it was about Joe, right? About like his feelings and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was something about him losing money. I was kind of like, I was making my Brussels sprouts. I wasn't really paying attention, to be honest. And then I guess the main scene was really Jen, who, according to April, her husband does not love her, but she was talking to her husband that does not love her about basically that she wants to continue therapy. And he says maybe. And so basically she's just like, listen, I want you just to come out of the pool house and spend some time with me, because if I didn't care, I would just leave your ass, in so many words. Is what she basically told this man. She's kind of threatened to, I will leave your ass immediately. Because last season, I felt like we kind of got a little life from her playing that part. And when they were talking, she was just basically like, if you don't get it together, I'm out of here. So I just really want Jen to kind of stand in there. Especially considering that she still acts like her life is perfect, and we're watching it not be perfect in so many ways.
It's not even good.
It's not even good. But I hate that for her, because it's like, if things ever hit the fan, which it looks like things may be going that route, I don't want people to be like, told you so. I need her to kind of come to reality that we're not perfect. We're working on it, at least. But being perfect, we're not seeing perfect on the show. We're seeing very disastrous mess. But the scene was cute. I did like them kind of having like first time I've ever seen Bill laugh with her. And so what are y'all thoughts on the scene about the therapy and them going back? And she did talk a little bit about, her daughter wanting to be a therapist. She's still blaming Marge for her daughter wanting to be a therapist and things like that. Jamie?
Now you're falling out.
It's the way you worded it. She blames Marge for her daughter wanting to be a therapist.
It's so annoying. It's like she basically blames her. I'm like, first of all, your daughter is grown as hell. You already are raising her.
Your daughter is 24 years old, and your man
she is 24,
PhD?
going on 35. That girl is grown.
Not 35.
Not 35. I will say that this scene, as much as I like their kind of little banter, about this gave me ick, because even though Jennifer was saying everything that she was saying with a laugh, like it almost felt like she was laughing to really hide how much she was like, bitch, I am ready to fucking leave you. What I wish Bill would say, like, you spend all your time in the pool house and you're this and you're that. And I wish Bill would just communicate and be like, I'm a fucking plastic surgeon. Like, I'm not working a 9 to 5. Like, there are days I'm 12, 14, 15 hours. If I want to come home and be in complete silence, because God knows Jennifer does not shut up from the second he gets in that house to the second he leaves. So let that man, like, I understand. I really hate to say that I wish Jennifer had a job outside the show so that way she can understand, like, what going to work and coming back and stuff like that entails. But I also, them kids take care of themselves.
She's
like,
a
Jen
housewife.
doesn't even know.
I mean,
Jen doesn't. What
That's
does she
a job.
house?
I don't
What
want
is
to
she
minimize
wife?
anybody who takes care of kids at home. That's a job.
them
She
kids,
has nannies. She doesn't take care of the kids.
yeah, that's why.
I can't argue that.
I mean, I get it. I understand, but I also see her point. Like, I'm in this house 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with absolutely nothing going on. Like, by the time you get home, I want to talk to you. I get that. I feel bad on both ends, but what really struck at her was when she said, I only am going this hard because I genuinely care about you. I want to spend time with you. That was like, why don't you just say that? Why don't you just say, hey, babe, I miss you.
And didn't he reply?
Like,
I hope so. I hope that's true.
Yeah, he's like, I hope that's true. Yeah. So, like,
but
both of them have a problem
it just really, I hate that she has to say that, because it's like, I mean, I don't know, but I guess people do take it for granted. I think people, I mean, Jen is annoying, but I mean, they are married and they've been married 20 years. And I just wish there was an ounce of care from Bill. I mean, it just sounds like,
I don't think Bill, to me, has always been a man of few words on camera, and I don't think he wants to show his emotions on camera, and I don't think we're ever going to get that from him whatsoever. Yeah. When the camera turned off, he was probably a different thing, and for all we know, they could be acting the same way she told the fortune teller what to say. She could be telling Bill what to say for a storyline.
Yeah, baby, it ain't that much plastic surgery going on, baby. Look, okay. I'm just saying.
I think they're just fine.
Get it together or divorce.
I mean, after 20 years, like, you're in a rut. Like, nobody's marriage is perfect. So you're just in a little, like...
And the show takes tolls on marriages.
You guys, Jamie's going to be a therapist with Jen's daughter.
Thanks, Marge.
Yeah.
Thanks, Marge.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Okay, so outside of that scene, it's travel day. They're flying. Jen F apparently does Xanax and vodka. I'm like, you know what? These housewives eat dope and drugged up. I'm like, and they don't care. But hey, I guess they're just as relatable as the person that's next door to me. Because I mean, hey, they do. I don't know who lives next door to me, by the way.
I know.
I just know if you're watching, I don't even know who you are. So they travel. They finally get there. And they're staying in this castle in Ireland. I never actually been to Ireland, but I hear Ireland is actually, there's a part I think I hear it's actually fun to go to. Is it Dublin or is it somewhere else that I think I heard about? I'm not sure as a traveler, but it's somewhere in Ireland. They say it's fun. I'm not sure where they are. Are they in Dublin? Where are they? You might know.
I really don't know any other. I don't know any other cities.
Okay, well, they're in Ireland. And Dolores has chosen the rooms for everybody already. Dolores is getting the best room, and she's giving Teresa the second best because it's acting as her bachelorette kind of situation. I would hate to spend my bachelorette with somebody who I don't even want in my wedding, but hey, whatever. She's filming a show. Right, it is what it is. But when they get there, I mean, like while they're getting there, they're talking, and Jen Fester talks about going to acting school, sleeping with an actor, and Teresa's like, "Did you meet any actors in acting school?" I'm like, Teresa, she's such a that lady is so loud. She's so loud. And so like, did you meet any actors? Maybe.
She's friends with an actor, Marge.
Oh, you are so pressed.
Like they get to the rooms. Jen apparently gets the best room, and I love how Marge is like, "You got the good bathroom, you bitch."
It was the way she said it. Yeah, bitch.
Yeah, bitch. And so they talk about a room. So anyway, things get interesting as they go to lunch. First of all, Jen Fessler and Marge got twin beds, unfortunately, but they weren't complaining. If this had been Atlanta or Potomac, it would have been a whole fight. Let's just be clear.
I love the passive aggressiveness. from every single one of these women trying to pretend like that castle was not the ugliest fucking thing they've ever seen in their life. Like everything was just like, oh, this is nice. Oh, this is quaint. Oh, this is pretty. Look at that. Look at that. This is gorgeous.
Jamie, you spoke Ronnie. Ronnie is here. Ronnie is Melissa.
Hey, Ronnie.
Well, you know what, Ronnie, you have a friend because April Tiff is here, and April is riding for Melissa. I don't know.
We got Ronnie and April. Melissa's lap
Ronnie or April. I'm gonna say
dogs.
Ronnie because I've known April. I mean, I've known Ronnie longer, but April coming in really, really close. He says it's all about the chic. Melissa Gorga. She has had a fantastic episode and was gorgeous on Watch What's Happening Live. I didn't watch that, but I hear that she got snazzy with
she looks pretty.
Is that true?
I didn't like her outfit. I didn't like her. I didn't like Joe. I didn't like Joe begging to stay on the show when Andy said, "Well, it looks like we're done with this. With y'all are done it." And Joe Gorga's like, "No, we don't give up on family. What do you mean? We don't give up on family. He want to stay on the show, baby."
The J-Lo of Housewives.
Oh, hold on.
Wait a minute. We going too far.
No, put up my comment that I put.
Oh God,
like J-Lo. It's so funny. I used to call Danny J-Lo, and this not the lap dogs.
Melissa is barely the America Ferrera.
It was the decor. So some of the rooms were not up to date at all, but some of the rooms were giving really like the ones with the pattern. They were ugly.
Just lime green.
Which is that one that had the strawberry shortcake on the ceiling?
Oh, it was awful. I think it was
Marge was like,
this is wrong, right?
That was Fessler. They gave her the twin bed.
This is so nice. This is pretty.
Ash, there wasn't no autocorrect. You meant J-No. You meant it. It was awful. Okay, so what things get interesting at lunch. So they get to lunch, and the girls are still feeling like Jen, Aiden talk to the psychic ahead of time. They feel like it's just not right that the lady would, know all of these things about her specifically. But the one thing they remember was the word endorsement. Marge is like, there is no way that she knew my exact word usage. And so they confront her about it. They're basically, Jen is trying to plead her case. Jen is like, she's a great psychic. Teresa likes it. And Teresa's like, yeah, she's really good. She's really good. Like she does this all the time, guys. Like it was all real. So basically, Jen admits to speaking to her the night before and telling her about a fight that her and Marge had. And I guess it was kind of like with the psychic lady was like, am I walking to the lion's den? And she did admits that she might have said some things. It sounds like maybe she was high or drunk or just Jen, because Jen will talk, and she spilled the tea. And so at this point, they're just like, oh, hell yeah, we knew someone off. Marge is like, we got you, girl, we got you. And so then she basically says that there are a lot of things that the woman L, aka Lauren, had said, but she said that she swore that she would never repeat it. Marge feels like whatever she said is untrue. Every time they bring up this L person, Marge gets upset. But I mean, realistically, I would get upset too if not even that I have anything to hide, but it's just like she knows what they're trying to do. They're basically say that she's coming back, that she has said something. And, people may be mad. What she got to hide, why she get mad, but I would honestly get upset too. It's like
they're pulling a Marge.
Huh?
They're pulling a Marge.
Right. Correct. They really are, to be honest. And so Danielle is just like, what? Danielle asked Jen, okay, girl, like, what is it that she's saying? Danielle wants the tea. At this point, Danielle's like, bitch, I want my arsenal full too. Give me the tea. But she doesn't give her the tea. And I'll get y'all thoughts on this part if I move to the next part.
I just have an issue, like when Marge got so upset that she felt that Jennifer said something to the lady about her. Marge talks about any and everyone every time she gets a chance, but gets very upset when someone does that to her. And it's so annoying. I mean, I get it. That's Housewives behavior. They all do it and all get mad. But it's just, she's going really hard about it this season with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Her tagline is, I'm a lethal enemy. And she's mad that somebody warns people about her. Like, girl, that's your tagline.
Seeing Marge do exactly what Danny is saying really reminds me of Teresa in older seasons, which is why her and Teresa really don't get along, because they really are the same person. They both abide the mantra of, it's okay for me to do it, but nobody else can. Be- because Marge both of them have gotten mad at each other for like, don't talk about me. Let's just not talk about each other while simultaneously talking about each other. So I'm trying to gauge why Marge. I really want to know what happened with this Laura person, because if you fell out with a person and all this lady is saying is like, oh well, watch out for Marge, she has an arsenal on people. I would be like, okay, we had a falling out and I haven't mentioned your name once, but you're talking to anybody who will listen about me like you're the one with the problem. I am unconcerned. But the fact that Marge, like, you can see the tightness in that plastic surgery tighten just a little bit more every time that lady's name is mentioned. Like, she is trying so hard to not react to that lady's name. And I really want to know what the fuck happened between them, because Marge is getting ready to explode. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Marge ran every single one of them people low. Probably ran Jackie, Melissa low the most, because she keeps people the closest. And she don't care about them girls. She don't care about them people. I want to know.
Marge is a friend you could never talk to in confidence.
Because she got that arsenal, baby.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't talk to any of these ladies in confidence, but
confidence isn't even on the table.
Housewives, the current housewife culture is to be a bone carrier. That's what it is. I'm not saying it wasn't always that way, but I feel like
it's become more so.
It's more now. That's the trend. You want to be known as the one that's messy, because that's what.
No, Cortez, I think you're right. It was always like that, but you still had your own storyline too. Being a bone collector wasn't your sole thing to do on the show. Now that's all they.
And I blame fucking Sheree that season when she was it season 10. That's when it became a trend. Shout out to Sheree though for
Thank you, Ronnie.
Right. Let's do the comments right now. Is Marge jumping to conclusions, or is she just correcting their foolish behavior? No, their behavior is a mirror to her behavior. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we haven't seen this before from her. I mean, let's just be, clear.
The only person in this group who I would probably think has never done this would be Dolores, because she really doesn't care about any of these women enough to go and prep somebody to talk about them.
I would think she does it the least.
Yeah. But every single one of those women, I mean, and this is Housewife. Anytime you have a psychic, you are absolutely going to prep them for whatever the fuck you want them to get the other person about. Like, it's not.
Okay. So, like I said, we left from this scene with Danielle. She really wants to know about what the hell Miss L said. And, so afterwards, as they're getting ready for, later tonight, the Bachelorette thingy, Danielle and Jen are talking. And Jen, this is like, I can't tell you, L made me swear, Laura made me swear to never say, but I can't tell you it's about Melissa. Yeah. Yeah, I can tell you that. And so then she's just like, basically Marge told L this rumor about Melissa in the back of somebody's trunk making out with somebody that's not Joe. And I'm just like, oh shit, Melissa. Y'all feel about that? Y'all think, whatever. Allegedly. I don't want to get in trouble. Allegedly.
I'll finish. I'm sorry.
Well, let me. I was asking people in the chat. I was asking April and specifically April and Ronnie, how y'all feel about y'all J-Lo kissing in the back of a truck at 40
in the back of a van
with somebody else's man.
Oh, not even an Uber XL.
Would J-Lo do that? Yeah.
Probably.
She would. She would.
She would.
But yes, basically, she got Marge became privy to this, and she told Elle this. She says that basically the person that made them or made Elle tell them was Teresa. And basically, once Teresa found out, she feels, and Danielle also asks, is that why she's not in the wedding? And basically alluding to this being an even more hidden reason to why she's being that way with Melissa this year. I don't really think that's it. I mean, we know that. I think it's more to it, whatever. But basically, they're kind of saying in this scene that because Melissa's a floozy, allegedly, with somebody else's man or not her own man, maybe Teresa's hurt that she could be possibly stepping out on her brother. That's what they're trying to assume here. And Danielle, who just begged for this information, says, "Oh my God, now I feel so bad. I wish I wouldn't have asked." And I'm like, Danielle, shut the fuck up. Shut your ass up. This is what be annoying me about Danielle. Like, I like her, but she could be so much better if she would just would just go all the way in and stop retracting or stop running. It annoys me, but I still like her though. I do. Danny, give me your thoughts.
That whole scene with when they were in the room, saying that she can't say this and all that, and then she comes out and says it and says, "But you can't tell anybody, bitch. You just said it on TV."
Right.
Like,
it kills me.
Like, and to be quite honest, I know this is Housewives, but I really did think that was real low in the gutter of Jen. You know how it felt when that was done to you. You sat there and you acknowledged how you felt that it was done to you previously, and then you turn around and still do it anyway. Like, that's just low in the gutter to me. I don't even like Melissa like that, but I still think I don't like people putting stuff like that out there without facts to back it up.
Yeah, especially if it's not directed at the woman who did that to you. I can understand if she dug up something real foul on Marge and was like, "Got you. Now I'm getting back at you." But you and Melissa have been playing nice all season. Why is now Melissa the target of this? Like, if you think it's going to hurt Marge, it absolutely is not, because Melissa needs that alliance. She's never going to fall out with Marge as long as her and Teresa are beefing. So I'm not sure what you're wanting to accomplish, other than the fact that it will get spun that Teresa is the one that pulled the info out of Lady L.
I do think that her perspective was, as Ronnie said, was an interesting perspective. That could be. I mean, I don't think we know they have a history, right? But maybe, I mean, it would make a little more sense to me. Like, okay, other than us saying Teresa just doesn't like Melissa, which is how many of us feel, and we feel like they both just don't really care for each other on a real tip. Like, outside the show, this is even like, girl, you my brother's wife and you my husband's sister. That's what it gives. But this take would be interesting. However, do I think Melissa's in the back of a truck kissing somebody else? Probably not.
I do.
She might have been kissing somebody else, but I don't think it happened like that. Now, I do want to ask you a question, because having some interesting conversation with April in the chat. And
April's going in. Listen, Ronnie, you may have competition.
Let me ask y'all a question. If we took away every scene that Melissa was talking about Teresa, how many scenes would Melissa be in?
She'd be in the one with
No, I'm talking about overall on the show. We might have 5 scenes overall on the show. Like, we actually see stuff in Teresa's life. Like, almost every aspect of Melissa being on the show revolves around Teresa in some form.
Yeah. You take away Teresa and all we have is Melissa singing On Display. Like, for the love of God, let her talk about Melissa.
They're gonna jump you.
I could take
I'm saying she does talk about Melissa too. I will never deny that. And her brother. However, that's not all she does. That's all we hear Melissa talk about is her mom. Everything revolves around Teresa, whether it's her mom not being invited to the wedding. I'm not in the wedding. I couldn't sit at the table. Everything is about Teresa with Melissa.
I really think that
to get ice cream with her daughter,
just because she's married,
Starbucks, and still talking about Teresa.
I think she's just going to be naturally cursed because she's married to her brother. I mean, that's just
She made the choice.
But it's just not. We're never going to be great for her.
And I can't take another season of this of them two.
Well, and to be honest,
kick them both.
Her and Joe did it to themselves. Look, y'all know how I felt about them coming on the show and whether or not it was okay for Teresa shouldn't have any say on whether or not. But at the end of the day, where you guys are at 10 seasons later, saying, "Oh, we're trying to fix family and do this," like, you have nobody to blame but yourself. Whenever you came on to a show that your sister was already 3 seasons in established, if you knew you weren't in a right place, and if you knew that your sister may not have been 100% aware of what you're doing, why the fuck would you think that coming on to her show, her thing, something that was hers that she had created for herself, why did you think that that was going to do anything other than exasperate the problems that y'all have? And then the very first scene that we meet y'all in, you're fighting down at a christening and screaming at your dad in front of 200 guests. Oh no, y'all have nobody to blame but yourselves. Y'all are trailer trash without the trailers.
Ooh, well, I've been going through the chats. I see what I do like is there's representation on both sides. I see people that are like,
and I love
not
interacting with
even just Melissa, but there are people that's like, not really feeling Danielle, feel the same as me, or the opposite. Obviously, we have Melissa coverage in the chat. Shout out to the Melissa, what do y'all call y'all?
Marauder.
What do y'all call yourselves? Like,
the Melissa Marauder.
You said the Lanose.
No, and here's the thing. I actually love interacting with Melissa fans. It's literally all fun and love, but it's like it's made for good, fun conversation for me.
Yeah. Melissa has more fans than Robin. You know what?
Because Robin ain't even a fan of herself.
Robins are uniting after last season. So season 8 for Potomac is going to be the La Robins will definitely unite. I won't be surprised if she gets
the Robins.
But no, shout out to everybody that is watching. To Rachel Reese, I love the show. Hey Rachel, thank you. We love you as well. Welcome if it's your first time. If not, then welcome back. April, looking for April like nobody. She said Robin does. April, who do you like outside of Melissa? I would like to know. And you got to call in today too.
That's Melissa who she like outside of Melissa, because that's what it is.
I'm really thinking that.
No, I'm just joking. April said she likes Rachel too.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, she likes.
She's half on our side.
So we get to the last scene, and they go to have like a bachelorette of Kenya Moore. Oh, I see. April, I see what kind of people you like. Okay, now I see. All right.
Kenya has grown on me, so I can't even argue with her on that one. Kenya has grown on me, but that's another show.
You know what? Ronnie may be April on his burner account because Ronnie likes Kenya too. Hold on, April. Do you like Giselle? Because if you like Giselle, I know you are running. Y'all the same.
I'm logging off. Let me get ready to press the button.
That would actually track because, like Melissa, Ronnie's playing both sides.
Somebody check the damn IP address. Because I got to see. This ain't something ain't right. Not you on your phone or your iPad.
Oh, she likes No to Gizzard.
Okay, no Gizzard.
Everybody knows that's what I call her on Twitter, Gizzard.
You clear. You clear. You're not running. I'm not the same person. All right. Y'all have your own brain, as Nene said. All right, so we get to the bachelorette party, and they talk about, sending your man nudes. Rachel says she does not send her man nudes. Rachel, I'm concerned for you. Yes, 6 years, but you need to keep it spicy. Ain't nothing wrong with sending your man nudes. I'm just saying. In my opinion, I don't have no man right now, but when I had one, I was sending news.
I don't got one to send them.
I send other folks news now.
I send not my man nudes.
Right. I mean, you got to send news. It's healthy. Send news in 2023.
Send nudes 2023.
You may get you a man if you ain't got one, or just somebody to play.
No, you won't.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Well,
you'll have sex though.
You'll have
there's a sash that they had, but it said single tonight only, but nobody wanted to wear it, so everybody wanted to be out, whatever. So then they talk about the bridesmaid dresses and the bridesmaid dress talk, and it's just it's making Melissa upset. Obviously, they want to keep talking about these things and people not included. So Jen Fessler asks specifically, why Dolores and Jen? And Teresa just basically says that, she would have invited others or someone else, but basically she felt like she didn't want Joe to be upset. And she feels strongly that Joe should have come to her if he felt the way about, Melissa's mom, whatever. She just wants more transparency. Dolores agrees. Because I think she's doing her shot at Jen, which I do agree. If you're upset about something, it's always better to go to the person versus talking about it to everybody else. It just kind of makes it not as receptive. I'm gonna less likely to receive something if it comes from somebody else versus you not coming to me. That's just me. But
that's laughable coming from Dolores though, because she never confronts anybody about anything unless they confront her first. So Dolores, please take that energy to Frank.
April, I agree with this, but for some reason I feel like Melissa in this moment, she definitely feels like it's genuine. I think she's giving Jen, but I think later on, watching this back, Melissa's definitely like, this bitch is playing me.
Yeah. Melissa caught on to it, and I appreciated Melissa in this moment. She really was trying to deflect. Melissa was trying not to argue, not to have fun. I can't fault Melissa here. She was definitely trying to de-escalate it and not let it go nowhere. So
Jen was very, very weird at this dinner, because Well, this whole
She was.
episode, I really am not sure where this energy for Melissa suddenly popped up. I don't know if she's got a bad batch of cannabis, if it's laced with fentanyl, what's going on. But
I
she
really
is out of her mind.
Here's one thing I will say.
Oh, I know what it is.
I feel I like Jen, but I don't like that Jen, to be honest, she is kind of lapdoggy with Teresa. And in this scene, it proves it because she is already at odds with everybody on this other side that does not like Teresa. Marge, Melissa, they are cordial, but it doesn't matter because they have a past and she knows that Teresa. But I also feel like it kind of confirmed that Teresa is definitely doing some things behind the scenes as well. She's definitely kind of playing a little puppet master. And realistically, Jen is doing all of her dirty work. Whereas Teresa, to be honest, is kind of sitting back like, oh, I'm getting married next week. I don't know what y'all are talking about. That's really what it gives. I don't know.
Marge told Fester to ask about the dresses, I'm sure. So
Danielle is like, listen, y'all, listen. he has not letting that side live. I
feel like both Jens are, because I can agree to an extent about Jen Aiden being a lapdog and Teresa, but Fester is definitely one for Marge.
Oh, and Jen Fester wears that badge of honor proudly.
Yeah, that's true.
So I can't fault her. She was like, absolutely, this is my best friend. What are we gonna do?
And also, Jen, Aiden she's gonna go after Melissa now because Marge hasn't really taken her bait. Marge shuts her down. Marge doesn't really argue with her per se about get personal where she just says, stop talking about me. So Marge ain't taking her bait, so now she's gonna go after Melissa, somebody that probably will take the bait.
Yeah.
Well, and Marge is playing this smart. That whole scene where she finally got Jen to admit that she planted all of that information to the tea lady, she's trying to break down her credibility. So rather than fight her with just words and screaming at her, she's like, all right, I'm going to show that you're a liar, that you're manipulative, that you're going behind the scenes doing this shit. I'm going to break down your credibility so when shit finally starts to come out, people really aren't going to believe you that much. Marge is playing this really, really smart because you're not winning in a screaming match with Jen because that lady does not know when to not scream. So
you want to pop her.
You can't. Yeah.
MJ, I would say, in my bachelorette party, I don't want to talk about that. I want to drink and have a good bachelorette. My bachelor party. I'm not an aunt. But I would want to be having a good time. But I guess it is reality TV, so I guess maybe she. I think Teresa. So Teresa's response, like she said, she gives her response, and Melissa challenges. Melissa is just like, well, before you said it was about this and that there was history in the past with my mom and family, and that's why. And she was just like, yeah, but that was back in the day. And Melissa's like, well, you and I had issues back in the day. And Teresa's fumbling, trying to figure out what she's going to say. But Jen steps in and says, well, Melissa, you were there. You were going to be invited through obligations. I mean, everybody's like, obligation. And it becomes
and Teresa didn't say, no. And Teresa didn't say, no, that's not true.
Well, because Teresa doesn't know what obligation means. That's a new word for it. It's a big word. That's a big word for Ellen.
Obla.
She said obligore?
Right. Obtuse.
Somebody said, what's that? No, I love Teresa. Don't do that. But Teresa didn't disagree. She'd probably be like, yeah, that's true in her mind.
Yeah. No, she knew what it was. But when she says that, everyone is just like, basically, Jen is not making it any better. And they basically politely but impolitely tell her to shut up, like, get out of it. Melissa tells her, like, listen, Teresa, this is between you and I. She's not making it any better for you. Please make her hush. And Jen says, okay, I'll shut up. Because she was not. And so
she said she shut up after Teresa told her to shut up. Teresa said, stop.
She did. She basically did. And basically, Teresa speaks again. Teresa says that, again, they should have called instead of going and talking to everyone else. And she says that she feels like Joe threw her under the bus and she would never throw Joe under the bus. And they're talking about, they kind of try to, remove the situation and kind of cool it down. And Teresa's like, well, Jen Fester brought it up because, I mean, she did. She is the person that brought it up. Jen Fester, this is her second time.
I love it.
Bringing that up, actually. Was it last week too, right?
Yeah.
So obviously Jen Fester's working. She's trying to work too. And I do think that there is a battery in her back as well. But the thing kind of ends there where they kind of let it go. It doesn't really go anywhere else in that moment. And so What were y'all thoughts on this whole thing and just how Teresa responded? Because I just really wish Teresa these days would give us old Teresa, where she just kind of she said it and that's what it was, but she's so like in her love bubble that I feel like she kind of comes out to me sometimes as a coward. And that's a coward because she's letting others do her dirty work, which we know that others are doing other people's dirty work, but Teresa, I always thought better of her. I'll say that.
Well,
What
I
I
can
want-
kind of.
Oh, go ahead, Jamie. I'm sorry.
I kind of agree with that, but can you imagine fighting with the same two people for
Oh, yeah.
10 fucking years? Like at some point, you're just going to be like, girl,
But I mean, it's
literally is
about
nothing
you
more.
and your wedding. So if my
Yeah.
thing is, if it's mine, like if like with my birthday trip, people will be like, why did I get invited? Because I didn't want you there. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm saying like it's hers to defend. So I get that you may be tired in a fight, but Melissa clearly is upset. She gets upset anytime y'all bring up dresses. Y'all bring up anything. Hell, it's even when they talk about the flower girl, she gets mad because she wants to be there. She probably want to be the flower girl. So I just feel like I wish Teresa would speak up more,
She wants to be on camera.
or at least have
Shut up.
Jen kind of hush a little more, because I just think it doesn't make it better for her.
Yeah.
I agree with that, Cortez. I really wish that Teresa really would. You don't even have to be the old Teresa to say, listen, it's my wedding, my decisions. This conversation is done. Next.
Yeah.
That's really all that needs to be said. And Melissa really, she needs to stop caring. Like, why do you want to be part of a wedding party to someone that you yourself don't like?
Yeah.
You guys
I
don't.
think
I'm
really
sorry. She
really
wants.
think that
She
she
wants to be in the scene because they know it's going to be filmed. She wants to be there. That's the bottom line.
Well, the thing with Teresa,
they're camera hogs.
the thing with Teresa, and the reason why, if you go back and watch all of these episodes over this fucking saga, Teresa never wants to be painted as the villain in this fight with her brother and Melissa. So she may have been a little more aggressive with them at the beginning, but when it came to really standing in her shit and the shitty things that she says or does, she's never had that energy with them, because Teresa does not want to be viewed as part of the problem. Joe does the exact same thing. We, the viewers, can see the shit. So while, yes, in this instance, Teresa could very well be right and say, this is my wedding. We are not in a good place when I started planning on this. Why would I invite your mother, much less, when I barely am thinking I'm going to be inviting you? So while us, the viewers, are saying this is the one time where it's okay to be a bitch, I think after 10 years of fighting,
being a bitch. That's being honest.
Yeah. But after 10 years of this, doing other nasty, dirty work behind the scenes, Teresa has been in this game very, very long. She is calculated with stuff that she does now. It's all about PR. It's all about image. She really does not want to be viewed as part of the problem.
But I agree with you. Teresa's been part of it a long time, but so have Joe and Melissa. And it's not a coincidence to me that once Teresa says she won't be doing this on film anymore for the next season, now Joe and Melissa are fighting to keep their family. To get the sister back and to get the relationship back. When in this season Melissa says, I'm done with this. I'm not doing this no more. Yep. Now that Teresa said I'm not going to do it anymore either, their meal ticket is gone, because there really is. And I know people are going to get mad in the comments, but Melissa has proven that and Joe, there's no other reason for them to be there.
Yeah. Neither of them have anything flourishing in their lives.
But to be honest, I would like to see other aspects of their life. I really would. I would like to see what else they have to offer, but I don't think that Bravo wants them for that. Bravo wants them there to go at it with Teresa.
Yeah. It really has become,
I'm tired.
And we had talked about this the last one or two seasons of Jersey, when Teresa and Marge were in the throes of just like the height of their feud. Jersey is one of the franchises that has the capability to become really draining and very fucking toxic so quickly. Melissa and Joe versus Teresa is one of the last storylines that has worn me the fuck thin. I think Teresa and Marge, the reason Teresa and Marge aren't going at it this season is because both of them want to stay on the show. Both of them want to keep it going. They still don't like each other, but I think that they both are very cognizant that the viewers are like, we have fucking had it with the storyline. The storyline for me has run stale. Like it's
and one of the things we have to realize too, feuding with Joe and stuff, Joe played a part in her first marriage failing too. I know that Joe, Guidice and Teresa had their own problems, but Joe Gorga contributed to that too in some factors.
Absolutely.
So, I mean,
They're
she's
both
probably think I'm not going to let that happen again.
Yeah, they're just horrible people. Like, it is okay. They're a textbook example of why I say family is nothing more than people you did not choose to be tethered with. Because when you have toxic family members, at some point you got to be like, girl, please get the fuck away
And
from
I
me.
can sit here, much as I love Teresa, I can sit here and agree that her and Joe are equally toxic in different ways.
And they've got decades of toxicity, and this camera is not helping.
In different ways.
Okay. Let's look going through the chat file. Let our callers on. Say a couple things. April says Teresa needs her own show.
Oh God, I can't do that much, Teresa.
Hey, Elizabeth Hernandez, how are you? Miss True Kelly says, I think Teresa's tired of this mess. She doesn't mind being in mess with ladies, but doesn't want to do it with Melissa. That could be true. She could, like Jamie said, she could be tired of it. I mean, I would be tired of arguing with the same person over and over about the same thing, to be honest.
I do like April, by the way. I want April to come back again and again.
I know. I've enjoyed April tonight. April, why you not calling in? I put the
April is fun.
April, Art World, and whoever else, Kelly G, y'all need to put the link in here. One of y'all need to call in. Well, we do have a call in the queue. So that was this is the time where if you're new, this is what we do our callers. I send the link around this time, like the 45 to 50 minute mark, and we allow people to call in and give their opinions and thoughts and just kind of have a good time with us while we're on the call. So our caller for today is one of our personal faves who we were talking to in the chat, and it's not April, it is Ronnie. Hey Ronnie, how are you?
Ronnie.
Hello boys. As always, all of you look like money. You guys are amazing with your opinions.
How much money?
How much?
I don't know. You got that low cut V-neck, so you showing the girls.
I don't think I got no shirt on.
Listen, I find it fascinating that I'm not sure which one of you said it, but it was a second ago about they both are trying to arc the fact that the other person is doing something to them. So even though I stand down, love Melissa in so many ways, I do really agree that both of them are making an effort to make it look like, well, she keeps doing this to me, or in Teresa's case, they keep doing this to me. And it has ran dry. The parts of me that I just really don't understand or in terms of communicating with you guys, I just feel like Melissa is so assertive. I feel like she's so much more fun. I feel like her word is so much more on point. And that's sort of where I'm just trying to give you guys the example of what makes me drawn to her versus like a Teresa. Now, the concept that I don't like is the narrative, which who's ever said this? Melissa and Joe has never said this, but it's everybody else saying that they're somehow desperate for Teresa in a storyline. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to admit, like, there is no control over the way the show is edited, right? Melissa cannot control what is being shown. She could just be as fly as she always is. And if you saw on the episode, she was shutting people down, which I loved. And if you saw on Watch What Happens Live, she was the J-Lo of Housewives, and she even shut Andy down. I'm just giving you my perspective as to why. Listen. I'm just giving you my perspective so you can understand me, why I'm drawn to her. This is what life is about. I don't care if you're my boss. Andy's her boss. She told Andy where to go and how to get there. That's the kind of chick I like. Okay, did you guys understand just a smidge more, like, why I like her?
I never questioned why you liked her. Actually, I always understood. But for me, I do, and forgive me for saying this, but I do think that they know. I do agree with you that they don't have a say in how the show is edited. I 100% agree with that, but I also think that they know that without going at it with Teresa in some form, that they know that there might not be a place there for her, because the minute Teresa said, I'm done with this, I'm not doing this next season, Melissa on this season is saying she's done with it too, but now their story has changed. No, we have to fix our family. We have to work on it. You see, so I mean, I think they know that. I think what you're saying is right. They don't control editing, and they know that there might not be a place for them there without, Teresa somehow.
Right. I agree with you, Ronnie. When Melissa, so here's the thing, but preface all of it. I agree with you. Melissa definitely is one of the more glamorous wives on Jersey. I think she's a very beautiful lady. She is funny. She absolutely is more loquacious and more eloquent than Teresa.
You like her nose?
By far.
I didn't say all that. Calm down. Here's where I stand with Melissa. I am drained by the fact that she and Joe continue to give energy to this Teresa feud. Because if they absolutely wanted to, they don't have to respond to Teresa and let Teresa keep doing her fucking foolishness. Last season, when Melissa was going after Jen and was laying hands on Jen, I was like, there it is. This is it. All right, Melissa, I can ride with this. Melissa has the capability to be more interesting and to shift alliances and to be that housewife that stirs some shit up. Jen is what I had hoped Melissa would be. Melissa just has chosen that all of her energy is going to be focused on Teresa and Joe's feud, which at this point I'm just tired. And don't take me wrong, I'm also tired of fucking Teresa at this point. Something's got to fucking
send them all off. Send them all away.
Look, but you and I both know the show will not work if both of them are gone. And the sad fact is, Teresa is more of an asset to Jersey than Melissa and Joe.
I would like to see
they're
more
both
Melissa
equally
fight.
annoying. They're both equally fucking annoying.
All right, hold on one second. Ronnie, did you have any thoughts for, because I got two more callers in to get in?
Sorry, Ronnie.
No. That was amazing.
Will take all your time.
Just quickly to two comments. I will say that I agree the way Bravo works. Yes, Teresa will have the upper hand. I don't not acknowledge that. What I will say, the bold Melissa fan that I am, I don't want her to leave the show. It would be sad for me. But the way I believe in Joe and Melissa, I believe even if they leave the show, they will rebound somewhere else. That is a confident Melissa Gorga fan. And then the second thing is whether or not she was in that car with Nick, which the story sounded suspect. The story sounded real suspect because the person said they opened the door. So if they opened the door, that means Melissa and Nick would have already known about it and therefore probably would have went to Joe or whoever and troubleshot it before it happened. So that story sounded a little not legit. So I'll just leave you with that I feel like I want her to be there. If she has to go, I'm not going to be too sad because I feel a lot of people are misled that she's actually interesting on her own. In the context of this show, I have to admit that Tree sorta is going to always win. I mean, it's the table nudge, blah, blah, blah. Thank you guys. You all look wonderful.
Bye, Ronnie.
Bye, Ronnie.
All right.
Let's send them on up to Love and Marriage DC. They can have a one season.
Thank you, Ronnie. We got callers. Okay. Bye. All right, that was Ronnie with some commentary.
I like that.
I love Ronnie.
Now because it's a new caller. So for the other caller in the queue, I'm gonna let you on too. But we actually requested they called in today. So Art World, hey.
Art World.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
How are you?
Yes, we
I'm
can.
good. I'm good. I'm nervous. I never called in before any
You should not be nervous. We like your
We'll go easy on you. We'll go easy
okay.
on you.
I love you guys. I love that you guys have different opinions and you allow other people to have different opinions without, getting upset. And I just like Danielle said, I like to converse.
Conversate.
Yeah, that's what she said. Conversate.
Okay, what you got for us?
I just wanted to say that I love Jen. I don't care what anybody says. She just makes me giggle so much. She's so funny. I think that she has she works hard. She doesn't have a job like a 9-to-5, but she does work hard with her being a housewife. She's a real housewife. She has 5 kids. That's a lot of work. And I think she uses the show to just get away from her life. And she just wants to have fun. And I don't like how Marge gets on her so much. Everything she says, Marge has it's like she nags her about every little thing. And I don't like that about her when she first started the show. So it was a little irritating to me. But I just love Jen. And I thought that was a hoot when she told the coffee lady, oh my God.
She goes, oh, you know what? I probably did tell her.
I probably did. And she said, did I say that? Oh, I think that girl was just running her mouth. She probably was a little high and just going. A very high. And the coffee reader was taking it all in. and just letting her and what else did she do? You know, I think she was just egging her on.
She probably told about everybody, to be honest. She probably gave everybody's tea.
She gave away.
And that's why Jackie said, "Nope, I don't want her to read these. Nope, we're good. We're good."
Yes.
Jackie knew what was coming.
Jackie knew what was up.
Jackie, I sense you haven't eaten today.
Yes. Yes. But you're steady drinking wine, Jackie.
Oh, we already discussed this. Jackie has been eating this season.
That's good. I'm glad.
She actually, I could tell she's gained a little bit of weight, and it looks good on her.
It does. It does. And
she's just gotten more miserable. She
is miserable, but I like that she is being a little bitchy. Can I say?
Yes, absolutely.
I like that she's being a little bitchy though, because it's a different side of her. She was just so blah.
It seems like
Evan drama drained her.
It seems like she's she's not really. If you haven't noticed, she hasn't really been upset this season, other than the very first episode. Because with Marge, she's laughing and kind of like.
But you know what? Too, what it is when you're a friend of the show, you can go in without having your life exposed.
Yeah.
So it's like she don't really have to worry about anybody coming at her like that.
Yeah.
That drama with Evan drained her because she was not ready for that. The drama with her eating disorder. I feel like she's back to like season 1 Jackie, where it's quips and barbs. And where'd you learn that? In jail? Like she's like
she's not afraid to go after Teresa. I love that. Yeah, but I just can't get with Marge. But thank you guys.
Okay. I'll see you in the chat. So continue to call in if you have thoughts, but we love the commentary in the chat too. So thank you.
Okay. All right. Have a good night.
All right. Have a good night. All right, T. That was Art World. We have one more caller, and that is going to be Ash. What's going on, Ash? How you doing?
Hey, how are y'all doing?
Pretty good.
Amazing. How are you?
How are you?
I'm doing all right. Long day, class all day, but I'm doing good.
Okay.
But no, I actually watched it this morning. And I definitely clocked the skirt. I clocked the skirt because normally long skirts remind me of like my grandma, but Jen, she made it look,
that little waist.
Yeah, the walk. It was all there.
It was the walk. It was Love Hip Hop.
She knew exactly. Especially going into Melissa's store, it was giving that energy.
Yeah.
But yes, Jennifer, no, she was very delusional this episode, but it was not like it's not like she genuinely delusional. You know that she's putting this together to try and look for something, but I honestly feel like it's light. It's not too much. Because it was like, it really was a joke more than anything. We knew that this lady was not telling the truth. I never really trust the show psychics for real. Like, it's so easy to just go to Wikipedia or something like that. But yeah, besides Jen and her stirring around with everybody, I feel like Jen Fessler really took me by surprise with the bus scene. I never needed to know that. I was fixing to look up that man, but I'm like, no, he's deceased. Like, this is too much. And I feel like that unnecessary.
He was trying to have a moment. She was trying to make it like, oh my gosh. She was like, I don't know what happened, but I know something was inside of me. I'm like, what?
It's like, oh.
And that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know something.
No, I'm sorry. Absolutely not. No, you cannot be saying stuff like, okay, she's new. You can try and step outside the box. Stepping outside the box is cool, but once you step outside the box, that's what people are going to see you as. And I just feel like vulgar does not have to be her image. She want to be like a mini Marge, because I feel like Marge is kind of vulgar too. She'll say stuff like that. Like when she said, I've been with lots of men. Your husband watched this, don't he? But I just didn't understand those comments. It's like, your husband watches too, Jen. But yeah, Rachel next, she's going to start doing stuff like that too. But that's just really how.
No, baby, she don't even send news to her man.
Oh yeah, she never talked about this sex at all.
But you know what, Marge does stuff like that, so you can use it against her. She puts it out there so that you can't read her for it. Because it's like, I said it already. So what?
And Joe don't seem to really care.
You know what he got.
Okay.
And that's probably why he got it, honestly.
And he ain't no prize either, so he ain't a prize either, so he gonna deal with it.
He definitely
Jen said that story. I said, Jen, you're talking like you bagged an A-list super sex symbol like James Gandolfini. He's got, God rest his soul, but baby, I would have taken that to the grave.
See, nobody was mentioning that man until she said it, so that's why I hate to even bring it up.
I forgot he was deceased until she said it. I said, "Oh no, not Tony Soprano."
Yeah, it was really
dicking you down. Dicking you down. Oh my god,
it's just not right.
That's what Polly remind me of.
Go ahead, Ashley.
It's like,
I'm sorry,
y'all really cracking me up though. It's okay, but yeah, I feel like other than that, the drama is just really stale. With Teresa, Melissa, we already know that. Like y'all just gonna keep going back and forth, keep putting money in each other's pockets, then stealing it from each other to do stuff like pizza shops. I don't really understand it, but they just gonna keep replaying it, and as long as we watch it, which I will, it's gonna keep happening. So I'm gonna just let it keep happening. But other than that, they're giving. I'm kind of ready for it to be over because I feel like Dolores, where are you at? The body work is not going to do it all. You have to show up sometimes and, contest what Teresa says when you don't agree because your face be saying.
I think we got all of what we're going to get out of Dolores, to be honest, this season.
Yeah.
I think what we
I
got.
want her to fight again. I'm ready for Patterson Dolores.
Like you get one moment out of Dolores this season, and that's what keeps her there. So,
yeah.
All right, Ashley, everything else?
No, that's all.
Okay. Call back again next week.
Okay, and leaning in. All right.
See ya.
All right. Thank you to Ashley, Art World, and Ronnie for calling in. This is the end of our review and recap. It was a very good show. I always have a good time here. Episode, if I rated, it probably be maybe like a 7. It was okay. It gave us something else to talk about. I'm really looking forward to seeing Danielle and Marge. I really, believe it or not, if you guys don't know, I actually am a Marge fan. Now I've been less on that side. Look at Danny Child since last season, but I'm really curious to see how Danielle, the person who has ran away from every fight, who I still enjoy, really how she gets Marge upset because Marge was really upset.
Marge said she wanted to fight.
She did.
Okay.
You bitch.
Don't you
ever talk like that.
So that's what I'm excited about.
Cortez, when you said you always have fun with this show, I do too because number one, it's not drawn out like the other franchises.
Yeah.
Like, they give us nice short seasons that get to the point and be done.
Can you imagine 22 episodes of Teresa and Joe and Melissa?
I wouldn't be reviewing.
I would at all. I'd be out.
All right, y'all. Well, listen, thank y'all for watching today. There was a comment I have to address. It was about me as well.
Are you looking good?
No, somebody asked, was I single? Yes. So yeah, I can. If you want some news, no, I'm kind of playing. But nonetheless, like this video, subscribe. We thank you guys for watching. Shout out to Miss True Kelly, Art World. Today's favorite, April.10. Maybe we'll have a fave of the day every week. I'm not saying nobody ain't the faves, but today, if I had to choose, it'll be April for her.
I would say April because April came in like a storm, baby.
April came in. She said, "We do not care for." Was like, I don't give a damn who you are. I love it.
Walk around the club.
Right. Shout out to Ronnie and I said Mr. True Kelly. Sierra Content came in. I think I saw Kevin, Kelly G, Yvette, Elizabeth. Shout out to everybody that's watched. Shout out to everybody. I had fun. Like the video, subscribe, and we'll see you guys tomorrow if you watch Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Thailand.
Oh God,
okay?
yeah.
Yeah, look at Jen. Yes, Jen, we got to work.
I'm off.
See y'all tomorrow, bitches.
All right, y'all have a good night.